we were talking to Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead earlier, and he was saying how they brought the cast in to hang out with the writers this last season. How involved are you guys in the process with your characters now, in the writing of it? I mean, because you know the show starts, you get your sides, your script, it's kind of set. Now that you've been your 4 seasons deep, how much say do you have in your character, and how involved are you all?
Well, we don't have a whole lot of say still. Really, it's more. Well, first of all, because our show's based on the books, there's a little bit that's already there, but you know, they're pretty great. You know, Alan and the writers are pretty open to hearing our ideas. They don't always take them. I wrote this really long. When I first got the job, I felt like I should be studious and write a whole thing about shapeshifters and like the theory behind shifting. And I wrote this like 10-page thing and I sent it to Alan, and I don't really know if he really read that. Like, I don't think he read it.
What was your theory?
It was crazy. It was like every time they shift, they get addicted to it, and then they get, you know, it was this thing with addiction and shifting, which I thought was kind of cool. But no, that was that. Maybe that's to come. Who knows? I think I may have mentioned Alan about something with my dad. Like it might be cool to see like shapeshifter parents, and they kind of went down that road. But the thing about it is, with our show, there's so many different storylines now that they have to manage and weave together and somehow make a coherent whole, which sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But so they can only kind of, you know, they have to kind of figure it out. It's like a mathematical problem almost, trying to get it all together. Yeah.
Well, let's talk love interests on the show. Not actually going back to high school. I hope we're past that now.
Thank God. Actually, Sam.
Did you have a favorite of those stories to watch and experience developing?
Wow, they were all very different, you know. There was I never had sex with Sookie. Tara I had sex with a lot.
I can't believe that got a hand.
Kind of a weak. But the sex scenes are weird. Like I remember Tara and I had this one sex scene where Rutina and I, her real name's Rutina, and it was 6 in the morning, you know, and that's when we shot it. And I just remember kind of like, you know, being in my trailer. It was in season 3 or 4, and we're having sex and all over the trailer. And I just remember standing there talking to her, and I forgot that I was naked and had a robe on. And we're kind of talking like, hey, what's up? What's going on? Yeah, how you doing? Oh, you know, okay. And I have my coffee, and they take the coffee, and then they take the rose, and we're like, oh yeah, okay, right. Wow. And we looked at each other, and we were like, what the fuck? I mean, isn't that weird? Even as an actor, it's weird to pretend to have sex with a semi-stranger at 6 in the morning.
As a non-actor,
in front of other people.
As a non-actor, it's weird to pretend to have sex.
As a non-actor too, right? It's weird for you guys too, right? You have to do that?
Do you find that kind of stuff awkward? Like, beyond the mere, like, oh, we're naked, but, I mean, you're doing it in front of a room full of people, and...
You know, yeah, sometimes it is. The nudity I've gotten used to, but the toughest thing about the nudity is just staying in shape, because the bar's been set so high by certain people in the show. I mean, come on. It's really
Is there any discussion about all that with y'all about like, you're getting a little tubby there, buddy?
No, because, you know, there's certain of us that are just trying to keep up, and you know, we're definitely not going down the other side of we're trying to go getting more fit, but it's impossible, you know. My biggest nightmare was being naked with Ryan Kwan, and it happened season 2, we both had our shirts off, and I was like, man. It's tough.
Yeah.
Very tough. But
I was trying to think how the format.
I didn't really answer your question, I think. But no, it's not too hard. I mean, I actually did some this is weird, like I'm proud of this. I'm not. I did some nudity on stage in New York. Beforehand, I did 2 plays where I had to be naked on stage, so that was real, when you're really naked in front of real live people. But kind of showing your butt and your torso on TV is not bad. It's not that bad. But yeah, kissing people and being intimate is kind of weird. It's weird.
Because you go, I would imagine you go from doing some line readings, and then there you go.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna pretend to really,
And
you know.
do you do the Hollywood, open mouth kiss, or do you really kiss?
Oh
Or
boy!
Wow.
Wow!
We're just
Now
getting
we're
into it.
really personal.
We're getting into it. Which one did you have a real crush on?
Yeah.
would you show us that now?
Did anyone ever tickle you during one of those scenes? And was that tickling naked on screen?
Did I ever get excited? Wow, it's all comedy.
That's all right.
Whoa. Getting hot.
So you also get in some fights on the show.
Some manly fights. This is good. No, it's all, I mean, to answer your question, it's always different. Each person's always different. But yeah, it's weird because it is all fake, but you try to pretend it's real, and then it stops. Because all you all see is what the camera sees, and then, but literally like 1 inch outside of the camera, there's like some dude with a boom, So it's impossible to ever feel very, private in those moments.
Have you ever had to do a love scene with someone you didn't like?
Yeah. I will not mention who. Of course.
Come on, what was his name?
All right, it was Brad. No, but that happens too. That definitely happens where you have, somebody that, you either don't like or you don't want to kiss or whatever. Yeah.
In general, then, is there some rivalry between the cast on set besides just you worrying about having your shirt off next to Ryan?
No. It's funny. Like we don't see each other enough. We're always so happy to see each other because we never see each other because we're always in separate storylines. There's certain people that I see a lot. I see the people at Merlot's, so I see all those people a lot. But I never see Ryan or Stephen Moyer or Alex or a lot of the vampire stuff. I don't see them that much. So it's funny because you do hear about that in certain TV shows that this person hates that person and this and that. But those are mostly the shows that shoot 20 episodes a year, which is like they're going 10 months, and they're all confined into one space basically. So of course you're gonna hate everybody after a while. But it's like it's really the opposite. We never see each other except at the table reads when we come. Because before we do an episode, the week before we'll sit in a room and just read it, just so the writers can hear it and make adjustments. And that's when you see everybody, and it becomes this big social event because we don't get to see each other that much.
Do you get drunk?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, you run a bar and shit, and then you guys are all happy to see each other.
Yeah, we get drunk. No, it's funny when the show ends. Everybody lives in another country, so everybody's off and doing, But there's certain people that can. I can drink pretty well.
Really?
Yeah. This looks like.
Uh-oh.
I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
No, because we have some alcohol-inclusive events this weekend.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Come drink with us in the Boondock Saints at 7. Just saying.
Where's that at?
Summit.
You just don't have to leave. As long as you just stay here, you're good.
I'm good? Okay,
We'll
cool.
take you to the right place.
Cool.
And then it's cool because then I can just stand in your glass zone.
Yeah.
And then like maybe.
Get the fallout.
That's perfect.
I'm a hell of a wingman, dude.
I need a wingman. I was looking for a wingman.
We had Alex come down to Austin for Fantastic Fest one time, and he is a professional at being able to handle his liquor for a while.
You're talking about Alexander Skarsgard?
Skarsgard, yeah.
Eric? Nobody likes Eric, dude.
I
Everybody's in love with Eric. Now what are you saying about
Well,
it?
so his
What are you trying to get me to confirm?
Two things. One, I'm going to like make the leak that he is a good drinker, so you don't have to feel like you've exposed anything. Two, he ended the night by walking up to a light in the parking lot to relieve himself, rather than any sort of dark corner. At which point, his
Found the light.
I think just a handler said, "Oh, Skarsgard," and his back is to us, but he just goes, "So well endowed, the whole family." Would you like to speak about?
He can tell that from the back.
I think that just had happened.
I have nothing to say to that. For sure.